Hello and welcome to a very special episode of 100 Huntley Street. Today we are asking you to partner with us to bring clean water to families who are literally in a life or death situation simply because the only water they have access to is not safe.
It seems so simple. Clean water is something we in North America often take for granted. Here at Crossroads Relief and Development, we have partnered with local established ministries on the ground in both Haiti and northern Uganda, where we have clean water initiatives already in place. For countless families we have met in both countries, access to clean water is simply not an option. We hope that together we can help change that, right, Cheryl?
Absolutely. We're going to do it too.
Yeah.
You know, every drop counts when approximately every 2 minutes a child dies from a waterborne disease. If you add that up, that's 30 children every single hour. We are inviting you right now to join us. Please give us a call. Let's get those phones ringing. We can make a difference together. That number is 1-800-265-3100. You can also go to crossroads.ca/water and help families gain access to clean water. Maggie, you were recently there. You were in Haiti, meeting with our partners, Clean Water for Haiti, as they work to combat what was a historic cholera outbreak.
Yeah, we all remember the earthquake that happened in Haiti in 2010 and the cholera outbreak that happened shortly after. Well, we have amazing partners on the ground, Clean Water for Haiti. You've met them before, Chris and Leslie Rawlings. Amazing work. And so what they do is they build biosand filters. You know, over 8,000 people died because of all the cholera outbreaks, Cheryl, because of simply not having clean water, not having clean drinking water.
And it's so simple, those biosand filters, and they save lives.
Yeah, so let's find out more of how you can help change lives today. Watch this.
If you have cholera and you have it for 45 minutes and you are not rushing to the doctor, you are going to lose your life.
Bad health is the enemy of education. When the kids are healthy, they are able to learn properly.
We've lost children, we've lost toddlers, we've lost older people, middle-aged people. We even lost 2 young men of 18 years. We lost to cholera.
Voices of a country left to deal with a tragic situation. Tragic because it could be avoided. Since 2010, close to 10,000 people have died in Haiti after contracting cholera from contaminated water. Despite clinical water sources, the 2010 earthquake decimated Haiti, and with it created a growing lack of access to clean water, which has become fatal.
It got people really scared.
Chris and Leslie Rawlings head up Clean Water for Haiti, Crossroads Relief and Development's partner on the ground since 2004.
Cholera is an illness where you can start to feel ill in the morning and you can be dead by the late afternoon, because it completely wipes your system out.
By producing and developing these biosand filters, they are literally saving lives. The filters work by eliminating up to 99.9% of the microbes that can lead to waterborne diseases like cholera.
Most of the families that buy filters from us are getting their water from irrigation canals, sometimes shallow wells, sometimes even directly from the Artibonite River, and it's brown water. Not only very contaminated with microbes, there's literally mud in it.
Chris, tell us about this community that we're in right now.
Okay, this community is called Poirier. It's one of the communities that's really close to the mouth of the Artibonite River. So all of the waste that gets thrown into the river or seeps into the river comes down to the mouth. And it was one of the hardest hit areas when the cholera came.
According to the World Health Organization, there may be up to 4 million cases of cholera reported annually within the country. Crossroads Relief and Development Director David Shelley says providing families with biosand filters is a simple, effective way to save lives.
Anyone who has children or grandchildren, knows the importance of keeping them healthy. To live in these rural areas, there's water, there's food to be concerned about. What we do is we take away one of the factors that's always in the back of the mind that you always have to be thinking about. How do I get my children clean water? All of a sudden they get a biosand filter, and you know what? I'll focus on working and getting food now. If we can help a family and multiple families, or maybe change a whole community with biosand filters, what a great, awesome impact we've been able to make through our partners on the ground.
Well, I know the filter was good for me and my family because when cholera came, nobody in my family got sick at all.
When you have contaminated water, the filter can take away the microbes right in my own home.
People need to know that they have to have a filter. It's like having a birth certificate. It's something that you have to have. We say thank you to God for bringing clean water to Haiti.
So it's so simple. You've seen them.
Yes.
It's a simple filter with a concrete box, sand, gravel, cement, and through technology, it's just a simple box. You would, just unassuming.
It's just science, really.
Really. And you pour your water in that, and it filters throughout the day. And magically, these people have clean water. Now, it costs about $100 to make one of these filters, as you know. And so Chris and Leslie really feel like owning a filter is so important. So each person that wants a filter pays $5, and that takes a while sometimes for people to be able to save up enough money to be able to buy a filter. But as you saw from Amania and so many of the people that we got to visit with in Haiti, it is radically changing lives.
They get so excited because they know that their kids can be safe. They know that they're not going to be sick. This is why we come to you to ask for that. When I was there, I heard so many different people telling me, thank you, this is making such a difference. I want my whole community to have them. My whole family has them, and we have to subsidize that because they can't afford the $100 to buy it, but that's why we subsidize it, and we're asking you to help us do that today. That number is 1-800-265-3100. You can go to crossroads.ca/water, and one of the things I love about it is it's not, so it helps the people who get the filters and they're getting the water, but also we buy the materials. So a lot of organizations would make it in Canada or the US and ship those filters over. It brings the cost way up, and it doesn't help the local economy.
Exactly.
So we're buying the materials from the people there, helping their businesses. Then we're hiring people from there, giving them a job to help build the filter. Then the filter goes and it saves their family with clean water. It's just like the perfect scenario.
It's about sustainability, right? So Leslie and Chris really feel it's important to be able to invest back into the Haitian community. So they're hiring Haitians who then connect with Haitians on the ground. It is creating sustainability in that country.
Absolutely. That's what you want to do. You want to help people in a way that changes generations of people. Well, let's take a look at the amazing heart of our partner, Clean Water for Haiti.
Empowerment. It's really foundational to everything that we do here. It's kind of the driving force behind how we set up our programs. It's the reason that we manufacture filters here in Haiti. We can provide employment for people. Everything we do is focused on that. We want people to be part of the decision to have better health. We want them to make that decision for their families, and we want them to have that sense of dignity from being a part of that solution for themselves. Because Haiti's had so much aid come in that in some ways people have been removed from that. And if the country's going to move forward, they have to be part of that solution.
Changing lives, saving lives is what we want to do first and foremost, but there's so many things that come with that. We talk about saving lives, it's through clean water. We also talk about empowerment and sustainability and those things that are the core of who the mission is. Saving lives means that we're empowering people.
I know for myself, being here has taught me more about who God's made me to be. It's life-changing, and I think then you get to see the fruit and you get to see what He's doing. And that's really when I look over the years, I've seen just time and time again, Him taking us through things and getting to the other side and going, that's what was going on. I think we're just called as people to care for each other as a foundational thing. We should care about each other. I think in a situation where we know that we can do something simple to help others have what we have and consider a basic right, like if we can do that, we should be trying to do it.
I think that we do say water is life, and when you donate towards a filter, yes, they get a filter with clean water in their home that impacts 5 people. But it's a generational change. We're teaching our young children that clean water saves your life, that you're not going to be sick anymore, that you can go to school regularly.
It would be hard to spend your donor money in a better place. We're helping so many people for so little money, and it's such a long-term investment.
Merci, gracias. Merci, gracias.
You know, Cheryl, when I was in Haiti recently, speaking to one man who said, you know, when he got his filter, he started giving his young child clean water. And people were so skeptical. They're like, how could you give your child water? You don't know if it's contaminated. And he was able to share what this biosand filter has done for his family and now his pregnant wife as well. And knowing the ripple effect that their little baby and their unborn child are going to be healthy because of people like you who see this need and want to give. So can you help us get more biosand filters into the homes of Haitians? There are 11 million Haitians, and Clean Water for Haiti has distributed 300,000 biosand filters so far. Wow. We can help even more. Give the gift of life, as Kim said. Let's give fresh, clean water to the next generation of Haitians. Please call 1-800-265-3100, or you can go securely online and give at crossroads.ca/water.
You know, someone might decide to adopt one biosand filter or 10 biosand filters, so you can actually calculate in your own head how many families you're able to help with your donation.
What a
$100.
Christmas gift. What an amazing Christmas
right?
gift. Oh my goodness. I'm excited.
Amazing. Well, listen, we're not just doing this work in Haiti. Crossroads Relief and Development has also been working in northern Uganda for years, where the water is so critical there. Our partner, Victory Outreach Ministries, tells us the need is very, very great. So much more work is still needed. We are working with wells. So in different communities, you work in different ways. Yeah. In Haiti, biosand filters works. In Uganda, it's wells. So we're working so hard to bring clean water to rural communities. As a result of the war that went on there for many years, they would not have access to clean water. Take a look at this. This is a typical scene in northern Uganda. Villagers waiting for their turn to pull water from a polluted, unclean source. Amakoana has to walk 3 hours to get here, and then faces the long journey home with only what she can carry. Water that will likely make her family very sick.
Yeah, most of the kids died out of this thing, but since there is no other clean source of water, still they are still using it. Even those other medicine to purify maybe the water is not there.
Villagers dig holes to access clean water in the ground, but Anna says animals and kids will quickly make it dirty, not to mention the hundreds using it.
Our first prayer is that if God can give them clean water, it will actually improve even the education level of the children in the areas, because most of the family, they will send their children to go and fetch water instead of going to school.
In response to these urgent needs, Crossroads Relief and Development and its partners have drilled more than 50 new boreholes.
You're able to now go into communities, refurbish wells with new pumps and testing and all of the things that need to be done, and bless the whole community with clean water. I think North Americans really get it when it comes to clean water, that, you know what, if my child had to have dirty water, I have enough trouble keeping my kids healthy. And I can imagine if all the water they use, the water they cook with, the water they drink, the water they wash in is bacteria and infected. But you know what, if you don't have clean water, they're getting sick.
Crossroads Relief and Development continues to partner with the local community, bringing fresh water to thousands of people every day. Will you join us and help save the lives of men, women, and children in Uganda? Visit crossroads.ca and give life.
Now we're joined by the Director of Relief and Development, David Shelley. Dave, you've visited all of our different partners. You actually are diligent in making sure that you're connected with them, getting updates all the time. We were recently in Haiti together. What were some of your takeaways from that trip?
You know, I've had the privilege of going to the homes of people when the filters are delivered and watching how families are impacted. I mean, I've also seen the bad parts of it, where they're getting water from now. So it's a really great privilege if we can impact it even more with more biosand filters, a great Canadian invention, and we can just change. I like what was said. We change the generations to come, And that's huge.
It is. And then we look at Uganda as well, where we are changing generations. We've been doing that for years. Yeah. And again, a very different landscape there. So we're looking at wells and talk about the passion behind that, what you've been doing there.
Well, we've been in the rural areas. So these are remote, communities who need clean water, that children die because they don't have it. So I have the great privilege of going along for the well dedications. So
I've been to some of those as well, yeah.
Right, and they're a great crowd and it's joyful. But, the hard part is where I remember in particular going down into a real remote area. The road was barely there. Did a great celebration, dedication, prayer, a lot of people there. But afterwards, they said, oh, could you come and talk to this gentleman? And I had to, he came up to me and he said, listen, I'm not from this community. I'm from a community farther down this road, more remote than them, and we need clean water for our families and for our children, and can you help us? And, that's one of the hard parts, saying, you know what, I can't help you right now, but I know there's people with hearts in Canada and our donors that will come alongside us. And we've got, Victory Outreach Ministries has their own drilling rig for shallow wells. We refurbish wells there, but what's great is, a whole community gets changed because of it, and generational again. So you may just give your dollars once, we may refurbish a well, but you know what? It's the children, and sometimes we're too late. That's the tough part, is if we would have come a month earlier, perhaps one of the children that got sick and died wouldn't have died. So we're just looking forward to doing more in both countries.
Yeah. Thank you so much, David, for all of your hard work. You can make this happen. You can make sure that those that need clean water can get clean water today. Can you help us? 1-800-265-3100, or you can give securely online, crossroads.ca/water. Let's make sure that we are not too late to get to some of these communities in Uganda. Not only health that is restored when a community gains access to clean water, but there are so many positive effects that happen. Take a look at this.
When Crossroads arrived on the ground in northern Uganda in 2006, things were horrific. Years of war had displaced nearly 95% of the population. Thousands were dying. There were so many needs to address. But other than food, the most desperate need was clean water. People were traveling for miles by foot, even if it was for dirty water, and they were getting sick from waterborne diseases.
Safe water coverage in 2 districts by 11%.
So along with its local partner, Victory Outreach Ministries, Crossroads Relief and Development created a plan and dug and repaired more than 100 wells, providing access to clean water for over 100,000 people in northern Uganda.
One of the benefits, you fix one well, that could service 1,500 people. It's a big impact. We brought it back to our Huntley viewers, many of them remember it, and they said, yeah, we'll help you with clean water. And so we were able to now go into communities, refurbish wells with new pumps and testing and all of the things that need to be done, and bless the whole community with clean water.
As more people found access to clean water, the most immediate thing they noticed is they were starting to feel better.
There used to be a lot of problems with the worm infestation, diarrheal diseases. But I think with the boreholes in place, I think it is coming down.
Feeling healthier also meant that people didn't need to go to the doctor as often and could save the money they spent on clinics for other things. And other rewards emerged, some that weren't necessarily planned.
A lot of it will be unspoken, that they'll say violence for women is increased when they're spending a longer time collecting water.
Women began to report lower rates of violence they had often experienced on the road to the wells, or even at home. Since wells were closer, they felt safer.
They're walking long distances, and they're taking time at the water pump. Their husbands will become suspicious of them, that they're out doing other things, or that they're not hurrying to do their responsibilities. So when the water pump is closer, it brings peace to the home, is what I'm told, that the husbands are happier, is the way they put it, that they won't then hit the women for not taking care of their responsibilities.
I was saying that Now the husband is happy because she can do everything that she could have done within a day. What's supposed to be done for that day, she does it. Because you know, even if the bicycle is not there, she can come on foot.
Parents and teachers discovered another joyous benefit. With wells nearby, it was much easier for their children to go to school each morning.
The children are able to go to school early enough because they just wake up in the morning, go to the well and come back with water, they bathe and they go to school. But in the past, before the well was put in place, they first had to walk the 2 kilometers or more, and then they wait until their turn comes, they get water and come back, then they go to school very late.
When most of us think about access to clean water, we think about what we drink, bathe in, and cook with. But clean water here means so much more. It has a direct impact on health, income, education, safety, and dignity. Will you be part of this holistic work and continue to bring clean water to places like northern Uganda? Visit crossroads.ca and give life.
Joining us now from northern Uganda is Pastor Johnson Ogima with Victory Outreach Ministries. Crossroads Relief and Development has partnered with them for over a decade. Pastor Johnson, we just watched a story about the incredible difference clean water has made to countless women and families living in northern Uganda. But I know there's so many more communities that are waiting to be helped. Tell me about the need you see every day on the ground.
Still, because of the population of Uganda, 38 million persons, we still have 61% in the rural community that lack access to safe water.
Tell me about the difference that installing a well makes to a community.
Number one, waterborne diseases are reduced, therefore causing low mortality rate, especially in children and youth. And then there has been improvement in hygiene. Walking distances are really reduced. And we want to thank God so much for those communities. They used to walk 3 to 4 kilometers, but now at least 800 meters, which is a blessing to the community. Thank you.
It's such good news. Pastor Johnson, we are so pleased to partner with you. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless Canada. Amen.
Amen. Bye-bye. We'll be back right after this. You know, Maggie, I think we see stats like that. It's just so hard to make it real to our world because you turn on the tap and water comes out, not just water, but clean water. Yeah. So you don't have to go anywhere to get it. It's right there. And you try to imagine what it would be like. You're a mom to be able to go walk, you know, kilometers every day to get water, and then it's dirty. You've made all that effort, and then you're literally poisoning your child.
I think about the chaos of the morning and getting everything ready. And when I heard, you know, that kids would have to go miles to go get clean water, then come back, take a bath, and then go to school, I just can't even imagine that, because if we actually boil that down into North American standards, moms at home, dads at home, you know how crazy it is in the morning. You turn on your tap, you get a glass of water, you get your kids' lunch together, and you go off. So to think about the fact that this is a reality, still a reality for so many people, millions of children who are living in a situation where they can't access clean water, something that we can just easily turn on. We absolutely need your help.
And you think about this work, it's been able to impact more than 160,000 people across Uganda. Just this past fall, we completed one more well, impacted 1,000 people. Yay. So we're asking you to join us right now. Please give that number a call, 1-800-265-3100, crossroads.ca/water. Together we can change this.
Yeah, while in Haiti, I was able to see firsthand how an entire school was transformed when they received clean water. Watch this. The sound of health restored within a community fills this tiny classroom with hope. But it was not that long ago when clean water was simply not an option for these young students.
Before clean water for Haiti came to the area, people were drinking water that was contaminated, such as water right over there from that well, and it was making people sick.
The director of Mixed School of Emmanuel, Joseph Jonel, tells of a period when it was a race against time for some of the most vulnerable students.
Back when we used to have kids that would get sick at the school from water illness, we would make an effort to get them very quick to the house so that the parents could bring them to the hospital as quickly as possible.
It was only when a promoter from Clean Water for Haiti came to his house, Joseph learned that having access to clean water within his own home was a real possibility.
The first time I had water from the filter, I was very pleased because the water that went into it was brown. It was brown, ugly water, and the water that came out of the filter was clear.
Now, this entire village is using biosand filters.
The end goal is for people to no longer be drinking contaminated water and be drinking safe water all the time, and for them to give their children safe water when they grow up and have families as well. We would like to see generational long-term change.
Hearing the principal talk about the importance of education, and by providing clean water, all of a sudden kids weren't missing school because of worms, because of diarrhea. The education is so key to developing the country in the young people, and the light bulb coming on and saying, okay, we can protect all of the kids in this school by having clean water for them, and they'll show up every day.
The message I have for them in Canada is this: don't get discouraged. Please continue to help with the project. Because we have safe water already, there are lots of other people who don't have it yet. We would like to continue promoting the project so that everybody could get filters.
It's so simple to change things, and all it takes is the will of all of us to say it's not okay. You think about the money, Maggie, we spent on the holiday season, and yet this is money that when we spend it literally changes not just one life, but families' lives, generations' lives, communities' lives. I mean, I walked with people to wells for, an hour, and then when we get there, it's this muddy hole in the ground that animals are using to defecate in, and you're just thinking, you made all this effort for that. You can't do that, and we can change it. We want to thank you, everyone who's called so far, who's making a difference, who's called in the past, but we have so much more work to be done. We need you to join us right now.
I remember visiting a young man with you who was doing something to change water in Uganda by digging wells, and he said, we can continue to ask why are there people who are suffering in the world, or we can change it. You have the opportunity, we have the opportunity today to change it, to change somebody's life, to make their Christmas so much more brighter. Will you help us bring simple, clean water that both of us are drinking today? Help us to bring clean water to those in need. Those children who have not seen clean water need to see clean water this year. 1-800-265-3100, or please do give securely at crossroads.ca/water.
Some of us, every drop counts, every dollar counts. Anything you can give will make a difference. You can adopt a water filter even for $100, or a well for about $3,500 as a family, and we'll give you the GPS coordinates of where that is. You can look at it on a map with your kids.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to share this with you today, and thanks for calling. 1-800-265-3100. Have a great day.
Crossroads.ca/water.
Bye.
Thank you for your ongoing support of Crossroads, a member of the Canadian Council of Christian Charities. You can write to Crossroads, P.O. Box 5100, Burlington, Ontario, L7R 4M2.
Cheryl Weber's wardrobe, provided by Melanie Lynn.
This program sponsored in part by DL Deeks Insurance. For quality service and great rates on your auto, property, or commercial insurance, call us today or visit our website at deeksinsurance.ca.